So nice.
Look at that view behind you, Paulie. Look at that shit.
That's what I was saying. Here we go. Here we are. Tutto posto. Everybody's here.
Yeah.
What are we doing? All right, look, we're going to have an intervention right now. All right, listen. All right? There's too much fucking bullshit going on right now, all right?
Tell me
You're
about
weak.
it.
You're fucking, what did he say, Paul Mullins? You're weak. You're fucking, blah, 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 and you're out of control. I don't write nothing down.
The best intervention scene ever filmed.
The best I love about that scene is right away, they single out the guy who's throwing it. What's his name? Elias Coates. He's like, hey, aren't you a fucking scumbag who used to rob the cars? I'm fucking, right away. And he's like, yeah, you know, that was me, but I'm doing big things now. Now I'm judging everybody.
Yeah.
Now I'm not the fucking piece of shit. That was great. That was a great scene. The genius of the writing. Right away, jump right into a fucking Sopranos. Anyway, let me stop and fucking calm down. How we doing?
I see you got like a wilderness behind you, yeah, huh?
Yeah, Bob Ross came over and he's fucking hanging out. He just painted the window. It's actually a fucking brick wall behind it.
He painted a little happy window in the corner there.
Happy accidents all over the joint. But really, it's fucking, you pull that thing down, it's a brick wall behind it. That's it. I pulled the grand hoax. I'm still in the basement somewhere in fucking Avenue I.
He pulled the coyote. The old coyote trick.
The old possum. He's playing possum. Remember that? Fuck is that? I'm up here with the possums. I've yet to see a fucking possum pull that shit on me yet. They don't stop. They don't fucking play dead, roll over, none of that. They look at you like, this guy must be from Brooklyn.
They're not scared. They're not scared at all.
They're not scared of nothing.
Nah,
or
they
nobody.
don't give a fuck.
Did they ever hiss at you?
No, because I don't get that fucking close to them. I don't fuck with them.
They're fucking monsters.
Mike, do you remember my apartment on Staten Island? By any chance, when I had the studio?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see how the stairs were going down. So one day I come home and there's a fucking possum at the well, when I tell you, he was fucking huge, and he looked at me. He looked at me and didn't give a fuck. He was like,
in his house.
Alex, you Staten Island.
What are we doing?
He tried to bum a cigarette from you. He was like, yo, you got a bogey?
Yeah.
Smoke?
He's a fucking
I didn't ask you if you smoke. Right. I didn't ask you if you smoke. Got a light? I don't smoke. I didn't ask you if you smoke.
Stop my
foot.
foot.
If you got a fucking light. Right.
I yelled at him.
No, let me
Get
tell you
out
something.
of here. He fucking looked at me like, you get out of here.
Yeah, right. Fuck me, get out of here. You get the fuck out of here. This is my area. You got a house. Me, I'm out here, and this is mine.
Check this out.
You're in my house.
I had the stairwell that goes down, but there was a brick wall. So in my car, I was playing hockey. I had a hockey stick. So I walk up the top. I come around. I'm looking down at him now, right? So, I don't want to be a fucking dick. I mush him with the stick. Again, he looked up at me like an asshole. So I had to give him a whack. Yo, this motherfucker still didn't move.
Nah, you had to fucking chop his head off. But you know what I do? I do see a lot of them fucking squashed. So maybe their own fucking arrogance gets them killed a lot. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm a possum. What do I got to live for? In Staten Island, of all places.
Yeah, he gave me a look. He made a weird sound like a fucking cat.
He looked at you like, go ahead, please, kill me. I mean, you're doing me the favor. Look at me. I'm a possum in Staten Island.
Yeah, I'm already in Staten Island. The fucking smells like shit anyway.
He's like, listen, I'm in Staten Island. Everything that used to be a forest here is a fucking grown up city. Yeah, right, it's the identical cookie cutter townhouse. I got no forest anymore. Kill me. You'll be doing me the favor. But it's different up here. I'll tell you, I got deer. I was telling Mike last time, I got fucking deer on the property. Now I see all the fucking bunny rabbits like crazy. They're all over the place. They're cute because I go on my little walks, try not to fucking have a heart explosion. So let me tell you something. These fucking bunnies, they hop and they run a lot, but they're fucking deep. There's like 16 of them. Every time I see them, there's always a moss in them.
Yeah, I had that in Jersey. Like there was like a crew of them in my under my deck, like. But I didn't fuck with them. I used to like them because the three of us, you know, where we're from and where we're born, you would think we don't really care about shit like that. But when I see like the rabbits running around, I felt like, oh shit, look at them, they're beautiful.
It's
Yeah, it's
different.
like Tony and the Ducks.
If you grow up around wilderness, I feel like you're more you're more apt to like kill them. Like 'cause you're so used to them, they're like nothing. It's like me killing like a mouse or something.
Yeah. Well, you know, it all depends. I mean, like I take the approach where you know, I don't want to kill them or nothing like that. I'm just fucking. Although I'm good now. It's getting nice. I'm going to be getting more into fishing. But I mean, you don't really kill them anyway. You know, I'm more catch and release. You know what I mean? I don't really know if I'm going to eat nothing at it up here anyway. I'm sure you can, but it's just for the scenery more than anything. Fuck a
Yeah,
beautiful morning on the
yeah.
lake. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at lately. So I'm, you know,
You
but
could,
as far as hunting, I don't know.
you know what? You could get trust with the deer. I'll tell you why. When when I was in Hillsborough, there were fucking deer everywhere.
It's the deer whisperer.
Bro, they were fucking everywhere, right? So I was like, you know what? Let me fucking feed them a little bit. So I left
Oh
one
yeah.
spot every day when I got home from work at like 8 o'clock. I had little corn, deer corn in this little spot, right? Yo, within like, I mean, it
They
took
love
some
that.
time, 7 months, 8 months, right? I would pull up and yo, like 15 of them be waiting for me. I had them
Yeah.
at the point where they were like 5 feet away from me. All of them. It was fucking nuts. And then we moved. When we left, I didn't have the deer. I felt like I was gonna cry with a fucking tear coming out.
Again, like The
Yeah, because
Sopranos.
yeah, you know,
The
because
ducks.
it's really true, bro. When you're face to face with it, it's a whole different vibe, man. It's like majestic in a way.
I
You know,
got
not to
pictures.
sound corny.
I got pictures of them waiting for me in the fucking driveway. I would pull up in the driveway. They're in the driveway waiting for me, and I pull up, and the whole time from work to home, I'm thinking to myself, fucking deer, I gotta go see the fucking deer. I pull up, and all their fucking heads turn.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
it was fucking beautiful. And then we moved, and now I'm in Old Bridge, which I might as well be on fucking Staten Island. Bro, it's like,
Yeah. Bro, we
you're
looked.
nothing.
We were shooting for Jersey. We were looking until it got out of control. It
Yeah.
fucking got out of like the slippery, you know. But we were fortunate enough to, you know, have a nice backup plan, and you know what I mean. So we went with Plan B, and it turned out to be better than Plan A would have been. I'm telling you, when I drive down now, you know, I'm not trying to sound like, oh, you know, when I drive down, so, no, but I could tell the difference. Like, even when when I go down, it's like I see houses like right next to each other. I'm like, that's too close. That's too close. I can't deal with that. Like, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm getting fucking claustrophobic. You know what I mean? Because once you're out in the space, I got fucking acres, bro. It's like, and my neighbors, like, nearest neighbors, like, down the road. You know what I mean? Like, 200, 300 feet, you know, at least. Like, that's like, because I'm coming from a fucking apartment. You know what I'm saying? Like, box up apartment with an alleyway and another apartment, and you're hearing every fucking body and everything. And we were in the back, you know, so we didn't hear a lot of the block shit, but we heard the back end of it where the alleyway was. Oh my God. So coming out of that trauma, you know, being up here, it's like,
When we were young, we used to be fucking around in the living room in Brooklyn. The lady right next door, Josie, used to be like, I'm going to tell your
Josie.
father. Bro, from the next fucking building. I'm going to
Yeah.
tell your
Yeah.
father you're running around
Yeah.
cursing.
There was only 8
Yeah,
feet.
yeah.
Was it like 8 feet between the buildings?
Right,
Oh,
I
man.
could
If
have
that.
reached over and fucking touched her.
Yeah.
Yo, but see, that's the thing, man. How did we ever do it back then? You know what I mean? Like, it was like we were fucking really wilding out, fucking DDTs off the couches. You know what I'm saying? Like, running through. I remember running through my house constantly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even, but, you know, I guess it's just, it all comes down to, you know, when you get older, you know what I mean? And I guess I feel bad for our parents and, you know, our elders in there because they're like, ah, these fucking kids, no wonder why they were the way they were, right? But, you know, it's crazy to, you know, to see that and then be like, I want to be away from I don't know, maybe it's an old age thing. I joke it up. Because good example. My aunt lived in Tottenville. bro, back when I was like fucking 8, you know what I mean? That was like up here. That was like the fucking
Yeah.
Yeah.
sticks. And that's Staten Island, bro. You know? So we would go
Yeah.
from Dyke House and spend the weekend there because they had a pool. So I was in on that. But everything else, I'm missing what's going on. The block, my friends, roof climbing, you know what I mean? Wiffle, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be fucking here with Peter Cottontail, you know, because that's what it was like to me. It might as well have
Yeah.
been. It was fucking really wooded air. It was fucking rural back in the late 70s, early 80s. You know what I'm saying? Now it's completely, it's so crazy. It's it's the opposite way now. I'm like, I don't want nothing to do with fucking crowds and fucking tenements. Like, I
Paulie,
want to
did you
be out.
have did you have like an adjustment period? Did you or you took to it right away? The country, so to speak.
I took to it right away. Yeah. I took to it right away. Cause I really, I was at fucking my, I was in a bad
Wits
way,
end.
like mentally. I was at my wit's end down in the city because it's just like watching it change in real time, and it was fucking, you know, and it was a real juxtaposition. It was like, and it was bumming me out because on my way to work, I passed through the old neighborhood, I passed through and how different it is, and being like you said, Josie. I remember Josie's candy store on 13th Avenue and 67th. You know what I mean? When I lived there with my stepfather and my mother, and just hearing those names and then going by there. You know, even 6 months ago, it was like, yo, it was depressing. I was like, yo, man, how did it fucking, obviously logical progression, everybody moves up and on, okay, I get it, and hey, Paulie, take it easy, stop crying, I get it. But to see it in real time, I was like, yeah, there's nothing left, really. A lot of friends are gone. My family hasn't been there in a long time. My wife and I, we were the only ones left, it seemed.
Yeah.
Like, fuck this, everybody's getting theirs. Let's go fucking do our thing. Fuck this. And the way everything turned, I was like, yeah, man, the city's done.
Do you think
We're
there's
out.
something to be said? Ant, do you think there's something to be said about I don't want to say segregation, but certain neighborhoods having their own identity, like the Italians are here, the blacks over here,
Yeah.
Irish over here. I think there might be something to be said about that. What do you guys think?
I tell you what, I had this conversation a while back, and somebody looked at me like I was fucked up. But when I was growing up there, Bensonhurst was Italian, Bay Ridge was Irish, a little mixed, Bay
Yeah.
Ridge Italian Irish. Bushwick was Puerto Rican, not Peruvian.
Sunset. Sunset was Puerto Rican
Sunset
too.
Park. Bed-Stuy was black, right? Now everybody was segregated, but there was no maybe a couple times here and there you get stragglers. There's some race shit happening, but it really wasn't over race. Everyone was segregated.
Nah,
There
that
was
was
no
the
fucking
media that
race
did that.
wars. Listen,
Nah.
I knew if I went over to Bed-Stuy, I was going to catch a fucking beating. But that's the
Yeah.
fucking rule. Now, if they came
Right.
over to Bensonhurst, they catch a fucking beating too. It was a unified fucking.
Everybody protected their own. You couldn't go
Right.
into somebody's neighborhood without being vouched for. Somebody had to be like, he's with me. I know him. He's here for this. You know what I'm saying? You can, and that goes both ways. Black, white, candy stripe. You can't walk. It was like the Wanderers. You don't run into other. It was like tribalism at its core. But in a way, we all got along. We the original diversity, original melting pot. We all got along, but we all stayed with our own. We all took care of our own in our own little areas.
It was known. for
Right.
everybody.
It was known.
Like even in
Right.
Borough
The
Park.
media did. The media got in the way and started blowing shit up because there was all shit happening constantly. But that don't sell papers. You know what I mean? They need that controversy. They need that fucking black-white shit. Like, you know what I mean? With what happened in Bay Parkway back in '89 and all of that. I'm looking back now as an older person and knowing the game now and watching the old fucking clips, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, man, you could see the spin. I couldn't see it back then because I was, 16, 14? We're not watching the media like that. There was only 7 channels really to begin with.
Yeah.
We were really outside. We were really in the streets, as they like to say now. No, we were outside the block. If I was in the house, my mother, what's wrong with you? You don't got somewhere to be? What are you, sick?
Go do something.
Yeah, go play in the street,
You know
right?
what? Even the Jewish people in Borough Park,
Yeah.
if you got caught in Borough Park fucking with them, the JDL will
Yeah.
give you a fucking beating.
You got a beating in the head.
Yeah.
They always tried to arrest one of my friends for those big fucking furry hats. I forget the name of it, but he just knocked it off. We're little kids now, by the way. Anybody wants to get out of it, no. We were kids do stupid shit, right? And it wasn't even They caught him, they beat him up, and then he caught a charge on it. And they tried to catch him with grand larceny because that fucking hat was like $5,000.
Oh yeah, those
I
things
heard
are
He wasn't
expensive.
trying to rob it. He wasn't trying to rob it or anything. There was a little kid, fucking around, riding on the bike, you know what I mean, whacking off his head.
That's hilarious, by the way.
We were terrors on the bikes, bro. We were riding all over, bro. And we got away, and then we found out what happened. But even that, the JDL had a lot. They came after us. We got away, but they caught him. You know what I mean? We were on bikes. You know what I mean?
Once I crossed 65th Street, they didn't follow no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing.
And then now they knew.
There was
Right, let us go
the
back.
unseen parameters. They gave you one of these at the line. You're like,
Oh, you? Why you?
You know what?
Tyson!
Anybody watching this right now? Anybody watching this and thinks yo, fuck off. You want to hear real shit? This is real shit. That's how fucking Brooklyn was. It was segregated, yes, but there was no fucking race. There was no fucking race wars. Yeah, you had the Yusuf Hawkins thing and the Howard Beach thing, but you know what? That's all those fucking people. What, 2-3 times? Everybody knew the fucking rules. It wasn't about racism. It could have been anybody.
The media made that
marching
shit
down
about
the
race.
fucking avenue. If you're marching down on our neighborhood, you're gonna get fucking resistance, and that's how it was, man.
The same way if a bunch of white dudes did that and tried to fucking run down Flatbush Avenue,
Right.
90 deep, you think they're gonna let that fly? No fucking way. Not in the Brooklyn that we came from in the 80s and everything. But here's the thing, we all went to school together too, and that's another thing.
Yeah.
They leave out. You know what I'm saying? We all
Long
What's
Island
up,
was
man?
like that too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No,
You know,
Mike.
that's it.
Long Island was
I mean,
like
I'm sure
that
there
too.
was variations of that all over because it was how it was. There was no internet either. You know what I mean? The media was the internet. You know what I'm saying? So they held the keys of whatever spin they wanted to throw on. You know what I'm saying?
Long
For the
Island
kids
was
in
a
the
little bit
street,
different, though. It was a little bit different in Long Island.
it's suburban. You know what I mean? Like you have a little more room to breathe, but you still have that same tribalism going
You
on.
fight
For sure.
with the other towns. You fight with the other towns. And
This
West
is what I'm
Babylon
learning. I heard.
is
Right.
in a weird spot. Like West Babylon is surrounded by like Lindenhurst, where we fought quite a few times when I was living there. And then you had Black West Babylon and Wyandanch. And Wyandanch was fucked up. Like people in Brooklyn, they didn't realize that there were fucked up neighborhoods in Long Island, and neither did I. But yo, Long Island.
You think Long Island, suburban?
Yo, Long Island's got some gangster fuck like Freeport's. Like
Sure.
Wyandanch was a fucking disaster, bro. It was mad. Mike, no.
Yeah, when we were kids, when we used to buy drugs, we didn't go to Wine Dance. We would go to Jamaica because Wine Dance they would rob you, and Jamaica they were about business. That was what,
Yeah, a little
Wine
more,
Dance
little more
was.
cordial in Jamaica.
Yeah,
How fucked up is that?
yeah.
Yeah, no. Well, hey, how many times did it take to get beat before you don't go back there anymore, right?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
just the way, especially when you're copping drugs.
But
You
it
know,
was the
don't
same
go over
thing.
there, you'll get robbed.
It was the same thing because like
But
West
yeah.
Babylon and Wine Dance, they had like a like West Babylon 65th Street was the Southern State Parkway Bridge. You don't go across that fucking bridge. It's the same
That's
thing.
right.
But like, do you think it's definitely better than having everyone commingled, right? Because now no one has ownership of the neighborhood. Kind of like no one cares really. There's no like enforcement, I guess, so to speak. So I think it's definitely
Or
something to say
community.
that. Community, right?
Community have turned into activists.
Yes.
They're all in it for the government, not NGO money. They're not about the people. Because you know it's really about the people. Because we lived through half of that with the mob. When the mob ran shit in Brooklyn, let me tell you, that's the reason why it was a different world. A lot of shit that went on in the past 5 years would never ever fly. Ever. In Dyker Heights, Bexar, Sunset Park, fucking that whole South Brooklyn, it would never happen.
What are you talking
Things
about?
that went on in the past would. What do you mean? What?
Like you said, the shit that went on the past 5 years or so would never go
Oh,
on.
the past 5 years with all this fucking, craziness and, all the lockdowns and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? All these idiots in the streets.
Right.
And just neighborhoods in general. You know what I'm
Give you an
saying? Like,
example. Our grandmother in Bensonhurst used to walk from 82nd to go play bingo, right? And then at night, she used to walk back at 11 o'clock, 11:30 at night. Nobody fucking went near her. Nobody touched her.
Oh.
That was our neighborhood. that's our, that's our shit.
You know who people are in the neighborhood that you're growing
Yeah.
up in. It's just common. It's just survival. You know what I mean? And everybody lives it. You know what I mean? The same thing when you see somebody, you got to fight the kid. You fight him one time, and then he lives fucking right 3 doors down. You know you're going to see him a lot. So either you fucking squash it, or you're going to be fucking rolling till you can't roll no more, right? But that never really happens. You usually wind up becoming best friends with the kid, right?
Yeah.
And then you go and you beat somebody else. But it was that kind of close community where, like you said, I'm going to tell your father. There was always somebody peeping in the window that, you know what I mean, knew everything and everybody on the block,
Yeah.
you know. And when the mob was, you see, it was so deep. With like there used to be things called Democratic clubs. Remember that? Not the Democrats.
No.
There were things called Democratic clubs all throughout the boroughs. Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx. That was the meeting place. They were like, I don't want to say dons, but let's use the analogy. There was like a guy in the neighborhood who was a business merchant or something like that. It was a little, you know what I mean? Had a little bit of power pull in the neighborhood as far as restaurants, bars, you know what I mean? Community leaders mean money, right? Because whenever they're campaigning, they need money. So what do they need the money for? You're going to hear it from the community. So you would go to the club, the Democratic Club on 76th and whatever, right? They know there's a meeting there. And that's where the community affairs would be held. And of course, it's not to say that the mob didn't commingle with the fucking, the up and coming, politicians, the neighborhood politicians at the time, but that's how that shit worked, and crime was a major part of that. That's why crime was low in certain areas and high in other areas. Wherever there was the most fucking corruption, that's where all the fucking bad neighborhoods were, right?
Right.
Connect the dots. Where there was high commerce, lots of business going on, there's low crime. Because of the low crime, there's lots of business going on. Because nobody wants to get fucking robbed doing business where there's high crime. I don't understand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Crazy. How it all got fucking blurred from that time, 40 years ago to now, from what I'm talking about, what I remember as a kid, 8, 9, 10 years old. I lived across the street from a Democratic club, so that's why maybe, it's fresh in my mind looking back. But I do know that, like you said, my mother, my grandmother, whatever, they could walk home from bingo at fucking 11:30 at night, and nothing would happen. And nothing did happen to them. I know that now, thank God. But
you know what?
Because it's low crime.
We were talking about like the neighborhood, like certain people here, certain people there. I'll give you an example of something too. Where the 19th hole used to be, right?
Yeah.
Used to be the WAP on 14th and 86.
The walk, yes.
I used to
14th,
hang out the
exactly.
WAP all the time. So one night
By McCallie Terrace.
Yeah, right. Right across from Terra Grossa. So
Yeah,
one
exactly.
night, we're fucking drinking, hanging out. The fucking door comes in. Boom, the door kicks in. And here was the door was like here, and then there was a wall. And inside there was the bar. And I was like right here, right next to the wall. And I see a 357 Magnum. I hear people talking in like Chinese or whatever. They were like, they came in and robbed the place at gunpoint, right? And they robbed only the Chinese people.
Inside job.
Yeah. They could have went into the
They
bar
knew where the money
and
was,
robbed
too.
all of us and made a lot of fucking money. And the story is this. They came in, they robbed the owner, they robbed a couple Chinese people, and the story was this, that Johnny, people are not going to like this, but this was his nickname back then, was Johnny the Gook. But he was a good dude. It was Johnny the Gook. And
Right.
they robbed him, but he was paying protection. The story is, like a month later, they found both of those Chinese kids dead.
Yeah. And listen, people forget the fucking Chinese mob was deep back then too.
Yeah.
Like when you would see those old fucking fresh 80s movies, right? Year of the Dragon, shit like that, right? Shit was taken from real life accounts, bro. The fucking flying dragons, the ghost shadows and them, they really were fucking running shit down there. You know what I'm saying? It was really like one of those movies. But, you know what I'm saying? That's, like you said, they could have robbed the whole place, but they didn't.
Yeah.
They got one specific, and they were allowed to do that, I'm sure. We don't know, right? But in our neighborhood at that time, at the walk over at the Golden Walk, right? Remember that was the name of it?
Hunan Walk.
Hunan.
The Hunan Walk. Yeah. Hunan Walk. Yeah. It had to be some shit. Golden, Hunan, who knows, right?
The yummy.
yeah, bro.
Always yummy in there somewhere.
Yeah, yummy. Happy, yummy.
Yeah.
There's always a happy in there. There's always a yummy luck. Oh, no, that's the other one.
Yeah.
Golden, yummy, luck, happy. Happy, golden, yummy, luck. Lucky, happy, golden. Say that 10 times.
Nah, it's
You know
just
what?
a
Like I said, nobody's going in there and robbing them without fucking a permission to do that. Gas
They
pipe
ended
was
up
over that down there.
They fucking killed
Oh, yeah.
him. They should have robbed
Yeah,
everybody.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that was the mission that they got was only to hit them because they knew what it was.
That's
And
what
then
it
they
was.
took good, you did a good job. Give me the money, pop, pop. Now we got fucking nobody's connected to that now. And who knows what the deal was they worked out. Yeah, you can go into my neighborhood, you can pull the hit off, but those kids gotta fucking die after it's all said and done and you get your money. A deal. All right.
You know,
Happy, lucky, yummy fucking hit.
you know who was in that bar with me that night was Neil Nastro. Who
Oh, the film dude, fucking Jules
no,
Nastro.
not that dude.
That's the guy who helped me.
Neil Nastro.
I know what you're
was the
talking about.
twin. He was the twin of Vinny Nastro, and Neil was the one who got killed from the Bath Avenue crew.
Right. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm thinking that because there was another guy who was financing
Nassau.
movies.
Nassau.
Right. That's it. The Tro and the So. Got it. Right, yes, I remember.
What's
And
his
there was
story?
another made guy. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
No, what's his story? Neil Nastro.
Well,
He was just saying. He was telling.
He was. They were I names fucking lose me
Yeah.
sometimes, but Neil. The reason Neil is because I used to hang out with Neil at the Walk a lot. He was in a car with his uncle, and they were looking to kill the uncle. They just shot the both of them. If you Google Neil Nastro, it'll come up. They used to put the pictures in the paper. You see, like they don't do that no more. In the paper, you saw the car all fucking leaned over and dead.
Right.
And I said, Neil had her twin brother Vinny, and we used to hang out in the Walk all the time. They'd always be in there. But anyway, he was in there with me, and there was another gangster in there who I'm not going to throw names around because of these.
No, there's no need for that.
You know, Neil got.
There's no need for that.
Yeah, so there was
We're
another
just
guy.
telling, we had nothing to do with none of that anyway. We're not
right.
from that.
I don't know, old habits, I guess, you know.
Yeah. Listen, where we come from, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like telling a kid who grew up in South Central, right? He may not be a blood or a Crip or whatever, but he lived in the neighborhood. He was in a heavily fucking gang affiliated neighborhood. You're gonna know people. They may be in your family. You know what I mean? But if the feds were as good as they say they are, they know every fucking thing, right? Especially now. So that's all I got to say about that one.
So the media's been pulling this shit for 100 years, really.
The kids from the neighborhood.
always been pulling this shit. The race baiting, the fucking pitting people against each other. But I feel like now it's so much worse because for some reason, like with the internet, the social media, people are so married to their side, they believe the media blindly. They just go with it and run with it. There was this fucking person I work with. She's so convinced that Eli. Hold on, I'm saying
Eli Manning.
No,
Eli Manning never won those 2 fucking Super Bowls.
There's a reason. There's a reason why I'm saying Eli, but Elon Musk. Oh, we never.
Eli Wallach.
He was classic. He was great. Fucking the ugly. But she's so convinced that we didn't elect Elon Musk. Why? She's so convinced that he's running the country because of the media. But she called him Eli. That's how uninformed this person is. But she just took
Eli Musk.
I know. But she just took what she heard from the media
Eli
and ran with
Munster.
it. The lost monster.
Yeah, but that's the funny part is when they say that we didn't elect him. Yo, there's a fucking billion people that aren't fucking elected that they had no problem with in the past. You know what I mean? Every fucking body. When Gail Godot, whatever the fuck her name was telling me to believe or whatever fucking whatever she was out the window telling everybody to sing. You know what I'm saying? Like the fuck.
Oh, that's so bad.
Did I vote for her to tell me to fucking sing at 7 o'clock at night?
Go back and look at that.
Imagine that other Tommy fucking.
It's so bad. You go back and watch it. Oh, the singing.
There's so much to look back at. I remember living through it and being like, yo, please go back, digressing to what you said before. I couldn't believe when people were fucking eating this bullshit up.
They were
hanging
running
on
with
pots
it.
and pans at 7 o'clock. And yo, it was crazy for 5 years.
Let me tell you a story.
Nuts.
Let me tell you
I
what
talk
happened.
with John Joseph a lot about this. We fucking laugh our balls up. But
I was in this was in 2021, right? So after like a week of the mask shit, I was like, I'm not wearing a mask. After like a week, because it just didn't feel right. So I was like, I'm not fucking wearing masks anywhere. So we went to me and my girlfriend at the time went to this little cafe place, right? I knew right away they were gonna give me a problem. I knew right away because it was like a vegan, organic, but they had like really good looking coffee.
In the belly of the beast.
So I walk in there.
Yeah, I don't for the beans.
I don't fucking say nothing. I walk in there. Yeah, let me get a table for two. So the table is 3 feet away. She was like, I just need you to put your mask on. I was like, nah, I'm not putting my mask on. The table's right there. You're acting like the fucking Gestapo.
We're not doing
is this
that.
like Gestapo? So I was like, yo, this is like the fucking Gestapo. So I sat down.
Yeah.
Person comes over, not her, a different person, says, yeah, did someone here give my my hostess a problem? I was like, yeah, me. Because fucking she told me to put a mask on when she was seating me 3 feet away. Did you call her the Gestapo? I was like, yeah, because she's blindly following rules with no sense of logic.
I was being
no
nice.
sense of reason, right? So yes, I called her. I told her she was acting like the Gestapo for making me put a mask on to walk 3 feet and then I could take it off when I sit down.
Yeah.
I was like, so I was
Simon
like, you know what?
says.
I don't want to cause any trouble. I just want to have my little coffee and my strawberry shortcake or whatever, blueberry pie. So tell her to come over and I'll apologize. And you know what he said? She's scared to come over.
Oh my God.
Microaggressions.
Yo, she said, the
You were
guy
a
said that she
You
was
fucking
scared
bully.
to come over. I was like scared. I was disgusted. I was like, who? I wanted to say, who the fuck raised you that you're fucking scared
Yo,
of?
it was fucking lunacy, bro.
Yo, what the fuck? So
It was
like
fucking
that.
lunacy.
There was a lot of people who were just like following this thing with no
Blindly.
thought of logic, no thought of reason,
The fucking,
and just going with it.
The arrows on the floor saved my life.
Oh my God,
I
hilarious!
just want to say that now.
Stand here, but don't
If I
stand
didn't
here.
follow the arrows, I
I have
wouldn't
to
be
walk
here. I
I
wouldn't
gotta
be here
walk around the
talking to you.
supermarket in the
Thank God for
circle.
those arrows. If I didn't follow those arrows, I wouldn't be living my best life, as the kids say.
There's two fucking feet.
That kept me
prints.
alive.
You got to step on the feet prints on the subway.
And the best part, they came out and said, yeah, you know what? Well, we made that up. They came out and said that.
You know what's
Yeah,
funny?
we thought it might have been, 6 feet, kind of, it's always good to stay
Yeah, that
6
sounds
feet
good.
away.
Let's run
What
with
is the
that.
science behind that? I don't know.
I got an idea.
Maybe.
You
What's
know
up,
what?
Ant?
You know those fucking the credit card fucking things? You push the buttons in. I got an idea.
Yeah.
So you don't touch where everybody else touches. I'm gonna put a piece of plastic on it.
Yeah, exactly. That's another one. That's the other one.
Kidding me or what?
Yo, that
It was
is
great.
so
How about
dumb.
this? You could only take your mask off to chew your burger, and then when you're done chewing, you got to put it back on.
up.
And then when you go to the bathroom, you could. Oh no, then you can sit down. Then they bumped it up so you could sit down and take it off. You got to keep it on while you're walking there.
You know what's
Sit down.
great? Fucking
And
Paulie.
then,
About John Joseph, you're telling you talk. He's one of these guys, right? He doesn't like take a side left or right. He just kind of calls it as he sees it, and the whole fucking
Right.
punk rock world is turning on him for him just saying what he
I know.
sees about the fucking COVID shit, about
Yeah,
the Fauci shit, and
Yeah.
he's just that's
he was
fucked up.
saying what we all knew.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because I was doing the same shit, and I got to the point where I was like, because I keep my shit on private, right? So only anybody in my little garden can see what I was going on. But I tell you, I had it was a nice shaving of the fat when the shit that I did post up and fucking,
Oh,
just
right, yeah.
completely
Yeah.
exposed to the hypocrisy. All the people that unfollowed me and who fucking, our secret wars in the DM, and I was just hitting them with bats, bang, 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 pepper, and then pop, pop, pop. That was it. Blocked. They blocked me. This, that. I was like, that's fucking
Hey, go ahead,
great.
fuck you.
That
Then.
was-
Go ahead, go.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, because who are you to say anything? I'm not. Use your own talent. I would have had no problem with it if it wasn't the fucking no, you got it type shit.
Right,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yes.
Hey, I'm all down for yo. You want to wear a mask? You want to walk around with a Yu-Gi-Oh fucking hat on?
The
You know what I mean?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
You don't not. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or you want to be a furry or whatever the fuck they call themselves? You know what I'm saying? You want to walk around in your Scooby-Doo fucking outfit all day long? That's fine, bro. You want to shit in a box? Knock the tooth loose. Go crazy. But don't fucking tell me I gotta do it. You know what I
That
mean?
when,
Like
yeah,
I'm the
anytime
asshole because I'm not
that's
walking around in
resistance.
the Scooby-Doo suit.
You're gonna
Fuck
get
you. You
resistance.
go.
Whenever
And the
you
best
push,
part, we all
push
come
back.
from this whole hardcore community. We all been in the matinees and various generations. When was compliance ever the fucking
Never.
thing to do?
Never.
With any fucking thing.
It's not
With any
supposed to be.
brush
It's
your,
not supposed to be.
right, brush
You're
your
not
teeth,
supposed to
Jimmy.
comply.
Fuck you, mom. I won't do what you tell me. You know what I mean? Now I'm gonna eat cookies and walk around with Oreos packed in my teeth. You want me to brush them? I'll show you.
Yo, Ed, what do you think
Right?
about
That's what it is. Hey.
Yeah, go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, you're good. I was hitting
Oh,
the.
so
I
what?
was gonna go on a rant,
So
but I gotta calm down.
I
The blood
want
pressure.
I wanted to ask Ed, what about like what? It's just kind of like on the same kind of subject, and I've been seeing these posts lately about you're not allowed to listen to punk and hardcore if you're conservative.
I've seen those too.
Like,
I've seen those too, and I chalk it up to they have to be young, because
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
was younger, I didn't give a fuck about any of that. But you know what they say? Listen, I heard this plenty of times, and if you're 20 and you're with the system, you know, you're a pussy. But if you're
Yeah.
50 and you're not with it, you're a fucking idiot.
Right. Yeah.
I don't
You know what
know.
I'm saying? That's you got no. What does it say? If you don't conform in your youth, you got no heart. If you don't, I forget exactly. I sound like a Mama Luke, but I'm gonna pass the Uno card to you, Mike.
reverse Uno. But I feel like
I totally reversed that psych. I out psych myself. I totally forgot what I was saying. I was mind rant. I was stream ranting.
well, because a lot of that old school punk
What
shit
kind?
is like very anti. It's very like anti-republican, anti-authority. But I think at the end of the day, it's more about like it's non-conforming, anti-authority. It's not fucking. I'm going against the Republicans just cause.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
Yeah.
not
This
just
is what I'm
cause.
saying. Like I think it's gone further than Republican or Democrat at this stage of the game. You know what I'm saying?
It's a
You
fucking
know,
Yeah.
it's got.
It's a
Yeah,
mess.
the way I look at it, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're either for America or you're against it. You either love this place or you hate it. There's no Republican, Democrat, because there's plenty on both sides that are outright pieces of shit. Dare I say all of them, right? That's what
Yeah.
that's my position on it. I'm common sense gang all the fucking way. I'm
I'll
from
bet
this
you.
fucking country. I've been around the world. I've seen you. I couldn't pull any of the shit that you pull here in any other fucking country. I know for a fact I fucking been there. All right, so that's one. Many, many times. Not just, I went on a vacation with my parents. No. You needed visas. We couldn't get on a fucking stage without a visa in somebody else's country. That's number one. But I digress. You know what I'm saying? This is further than that now. You know what I mean? Our parents, I know my parents, my grandparents, they fought in wars. They were in the military. I'm pro-military. I'm not pro-war. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in fucking live and let live. You know what I'm saying? And have respect. Because you don't have respect, you got nothing. And you're not going to get it from me if you don't give it, right?
Yeah.
That's the code we all grew up on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Live and let live. When did the nanny state fucking take over?
The Nana
That's
State.
the
Yeah.
fucking, that's the real enemy. You know what I'm saying? This whole surveillance shit, do this, don't do that. You know, like, you're telling me, I'm an older man. You know what I'm saying? Who are you to fucking tell me? I've had time and experience. I've lived through this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, go fucking do whatever you want. I don't have to. Could you imagine your job tomorrow tells you, listen, Mike, listen, Nate, you guys want to come in tomorrow? I need you to go see Dr. fucking Peckinpah, and he's going to fucking give you guys a nice nose job because you can't work here anymore unless you got a new nose. But I like my nose.
Yeah.
I don't want a new nose. But I don't care what you like, okay? Because if you want to work here, you got to get the fucking ticket. That's got to go.
Yeah.
Ready? So you guys got 2 weeks to make a decision about your nose or cutting off your left arm, whatever the fuck. You know, who's going to do that in their right mind? It was mind-boggling to see what happens because that's basically the same shit.
Forcing people to take the
and I
injection.
flew off the handle for what I was really saying, but it's all about this country. That's all I give a fuck about. I don't give a fuck about it.
Do you fly a flag outside your house?
I love it. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And
I got the flag right here, boys. I got just outside the house.
I'm in an apartment.
We don't got it just outside the house. We got it wherever we go, boys.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all I got to say about that.
Yo,
yeah, but
the new thing right now. The new thing right now is people bitching over CCOT. That CCOT prison.
Tell me about that. What is that?
Well.
CCOT prison is in El Salvador. El Salvador was like the #1 murder country in the world forever. This new president came in and he fixed the whole fucking place. So what he does is he takes all these MS-13, you know, the ones that are tatted all over the fucking face and all that shit, the ones that kill, rape, children, everything, right? He takes them in there. As soon as you walk in, you get stripped, you get a pair of fucking white shorts, you shave your fucking head, and they throw you in. There's no fucking beds, there's no fucking nothing. Everything is in one big fucking dorm, the bunks lined up. Now you got these people on Facebook, I see it all the time. Their hearts are bleeding for these fucking human traffickers.
It's the new thing.
Yo, they traffic fucking children, and you got those same people that you were saying, what you asked about before, with those type of people. Oh, how can you treat them like this? These people rape and kill. This is the state of this fucking country with these people in it. Like, how can you? Somebody kills a child, right? Or puts children into sex slavery. How the fuck are you crying for them? You feel bad for these fucking people? Now, El Salvador right now is fucking beautiful. I got an El Salvadorian I work with. Great fucking guy, right? I asked him about all of this and, you know, what he thinks about it. He goes, they should all fucking die. He goes, now the kids, they could go play in they could play in the street. You could walk to the store. He goes, they had death squads. If you were going to the store, they'd pull up in a van and fucking snatch you, beheading people. They were running shit. El Salvador right now had a beauty contest a year or two ago. First time ever. People going there on vacation. Bro, how the fuck are these? I don't understand these people, what they think. Like, with that same type of shit. You're conservative, you can't like punk. Like, I don't understand their brains, like how the fuck they work. You telling me
it's gotta be a generational thing.
If you like, you know what I'm saying? You got this guy. There's that movie Sound of Freedom when they send the kids to Russia, and you feel bad for this how they're being treated. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. But they gotta have something to cry about. They gotta have a cause. But their causes are so misdirected.
The mental illness.
Easily manipulated. Yeah, they get easily manipulated by emotion. Emotion's one of the easiest to the right person. Emotions is the easiest to control somebody. You know, we used to call it pushing his buttons, right? We used to break balls, right? You know what I mean? How do you combat that? Don't ever let nobody know what the thing is that you're mad about. Be mad because they'll never stop. That's how I'll just abuse you about it till you're numb. You know what I mean? But to combat that, you never let nobody know that, right? But these people wear their hearts on their sleeves. They're the ones putting posts of 3 pages of how you should live, and you're such a bad person for not caring about such and such X, Y, and Z.
There's nothing wrong with being passionate. There's nothing wrong with that. But put it in the right fuck. You're going to be passionate towards the freedom of a fucking rapist? Fuck you,
right.
man. Fuck
it's
them
fucking
too,
dumb.
you know what I'm saying?
Plus, you need to know what you're talking about.
Imagine if they put that passion.
What's that? Right?
You need to know like what you're passionate about. You need to know what you're talking about. You need you can't go out to a protest with a sign that says ABC, and then someone says, "Well, tell me about that," and you don't know.
They do it anyway. It's fucking crazy.
Well, you know what? They get paid to do it. They get paid. A lot of these people again. No, you could just pull it up. You could crowdsource. You basically put out auditions, and they have a stipend. They have money that they allow 15, 25, 50 a day, 100 a day, whatever. Pick your number, right? But all of that shit is manufactured. That's why when you ask a lot of these people, well, not me, but I've done my own little thing. Whenever they're asked about any of the subjects, like Mike is saying, they don't know other than the hot talking points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Elon Musk's a Nazi. We didn't vote for that. Okay, well, let me know why. I'm not fighting with you. I want to know why you think he's a Nazi. And what's your cite your sources on where he was in, Nazi fucking camp and becoming what? Show me your facts.
I want to see him
you know what I'm saying?
goose-stepping on the
Don't
stage.
tell me.
Right.
Yeah, well, I hear he hangs out with the Crips. He's a Crip. All right, cool. You got any hard information? You got him fucking looking up somewhere? Getting jumped in? Oh, you know? How the fuck do you know he's a Crip? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Insert whatever the hot topic.
Nazi,
because they don't have
Crip,
any
whatever.
facts behind it. They're not educated they have no information behind whatever they're seeing. And the internet, again, these algorithms, they know what they're looking for in certain,
Yeah, so they
have so much information on all of us.
They could just feed them.
So they know it's almost like they feed them what they want. They see what they rant about. I haven't been fucking accused. I've been guilty of it myself. I used to fight with bots on there. Then I would know that they're bots, and then I would hit them with certain shit, and it scrambles their shit because they have talking points or they have somebody feeding them. The bot. Because then you look. Dead giveaways, the zero post and the no fucking profile pic.
Yeah.
But then if you hit them with enough talking points, then you flip it on them and you start calling them bots and then calling them out. They never respond to that. They always stick to whatever their script is, and that gets into people's heads. The right person, unhinged lunatic who fucking never comes out of their house, or whatever, fucking whatever. You just pick your poison, and they got a fucking algorithm for it.
Oh, for sure.
You know? It used to be like there's an audience for everything. There is, but now it's all moved to the phone. These fucking squares are now the new idiot box.
I got a solution.
We carried around with us.
I got a solution for
Yeah, come on.
all of it. From my boy Whip, all right? Bring back the punch to the face. Just bring back the punch to the face. I'm sorry.
Solves a lot of problems.
I'm sorry. That bring back the punch to the face. You think I'm a fucking racist? Why? I don't know. Crack, you get fucking hit. Listen, we're growing up, everybody got hit. But you know what? You fucking learned. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't run my mouth. Or maybe I shouldn't do this. There's no consequences for fucking shit.
Yeah.
Bring
Not
back
even
the
now.
punch to the face. Listen, if I fuck up and you punch me in the face, yo, I'll fucking eat it. I fucking needed it. Whatever.
We've all been there.
Accountability.
Bring back the punch to the face.
Yeah. But they call that assault now, right? You know.
It's assault.
Here's the other thing. It's assault if you're a certain profile. If you're not a certain profile, you get away with it. They ain't locking you up. You're not getting locked up. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to do the paperwork now. Unless they can make something out of it. They can plaster your face all over TV. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, and you hit the wrong fucking, softy, and next thing you know, you got purple hair fucking Elon Musk maniacs coming at you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they don't do it with the fists. They do it like real pussies. They go and they dox you, or they do, you know what I'm saying?
The
They don't. They
doxing
won't.
thing,
They will.
Such a pussy.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was like, if you put somebody's, address out there, you know what I'm saying? Back in our days, we used to call that, we show up to your house, right? But that's only because you know that information. You're not putting it out there for the world to see. You know what I'm saying? Where anybody can show up to fucking 1313 Mockingbird Lane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You do that in itself, that's another on-site fucking thing too. You know what I'm saying? Usually the code used to be women, children, and the property usually, right? But somehow that even, you don't go to somebody's house unless you really hate the person and you got a major and it's justified. You pull up to the house, right? But normally it's, all right, I'll see you when I see you.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be that all right, when I see. Then that disappeared, and then it turned into fucking,
The
crying
lack
out
of deductive reasoning.
because nobody gets punched in the face. They run.
The lack of deductive reasoning, the lack of common sense, the lack of just logical thinking, critical thinking, all these fucking things. It's amazing how this is going on. Like, just if you just think about something for more than 3 seconds, a whole conversation could be avoided. Deductive reasoning is such a big deal.
Well, people don't have, and they don't have. Well, again, it goes down to life experiences, bro. We all come from a time where we were outside. You know, we were in it.
We outside.
There was no internet. Yeah, I hate to even say that and sound like that, but it was like, no, we were we were out of the house. Let me just say that. We were out of the house.
I got a
We
good
were out of the
Yeah,
house.
go ahead.
about why you shouldn't go to someone's fucking house. Besides the regular reasons, I'll give you an example. So I was in my fucking room in Brooklyn, right? I'm laying down. I don't know why I wasn't out that night, but whatever the fuck. I'm home, I'm laying down, and I hear gunshots going off. Fucking just shit spraying. The fuck is that? Anyway, the next day I found out that Gregory Scarpa, the fucking Grim Reaper, that's a bad motherfucker right there, went to a friend of mine's house I grew up with, and one of the guys I hung around with shot him in the fucking face. Now, Gregory Scarpa got shot in the fucking face. That's a fucking killer right there. A killer went to someone's house, and they shot it the fuck out. And they fucking shot him. To me, you never go to someone's house. Because, look, let's say I get into some shit over here. I'm not going to fucking kill nobody, whatever you have. If you come to my fucking house where there's my wife, possibly my child,
right?
It's fucking on. I'm not going to worry
you're
about
crossing the line.
I'm not worried about the fucking cops. You're not touching my wife. You're not touching my kid. You know what? You're not even touching the trash in my apartment. You come here, you're getting fucking shot. I carry it. I'm fucking legal. Even if I wasn't. This is my fucking shit. It might be small, but it's mine. But anyway, yeah, so that's a perfect example. That's a killer.
Yeah.
Grim Reaper was killed. Went to someone's house, and one of my friends I hung around with shot him right in the face. Fucking
bro.
Can't do shit.
It's either him or you, right? That's how he's thinking. And when you're in it, you know. When you're in it, you know. Look, any minute could be it. And they come to the house, they whatever, you know. They get you even quicker going to your local spots. It was one thing they said in Goodfellas, which still remains true. It's never fucking. It's always your friends. It's always, you know what I'm saying? It's always the people you're closest to.
Look at Paulie.
Absolutely, 100%. It's always your closest.
Hold on, Ant. What'd you say? Look at who?
He's talking about Paulie Galino from Bay Avenue.
Tell me about that.
Paulie Galino was first of all, Paulie Galino was a fucking tough kid. He was a tough, he was a tough fucking kid. He was only like 21, 22 years old. But anyway,
he was no joke. He was the youngerish out of the crew.
Tough fucking dude.
All the guys had a couple of years on.
Very intimidating fucking kid. But anyway, he got into an argument with a gangster, and he wanted to make a move, and the gangster told him not to. It's hot. It's hot. Paulie shoved him. I think it was Anthony Spiro he shoved.
Yeah.
Okay, so he shoved Anthony Spiro, and that kind of
who was a made guy.
Some other shit kind of signed his fucking death papers, right?
There's always other shit, but when you put your hands on a made guy, that sealed his fate.
It's a fucking rap. So that's what he did, and he kind of laid low. Paulie was laying low for a while in his house or whatever, and a couple of his boys came over. And I'm not going to say more about them because they're all out now. They did their 25 years or whatever. They're out now, and they asked him for a bottle of water.
This story's on the internet.
It's all out there anyway. But they ask him for a bottle of water. He goes in the fridge to get it. Back of the head. That, what I was saying before about the newspapers, that was on the fucking front page of one of the papers. Paulie G laying on the fucking floor in his basement. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But they had no problem showing that. But anything else, they would say, you know what I'm saying? Any kind of mob shit, they would show. But anything else, like Happy Land Fire or whatever, they would always show exteriors. You know what I mean? or like, the firemen in action. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like sometimes
they wouldn't show the burnt bodies. They would never show the burnt bodies.
I tell people all the time about that neighborhood. It was fucking great. The people you meet, you keep them forever. But there was such a fucking dark side to that neighborhood. The murder, people disappeared, cars exploding, fucking bro.
I remember that.
And I was living in Long Island for like 6 years, and then I came back. Talk about a fucking culture shock.
Culture shock,
Long Island, they would listen. Long Island wasn't soft. I grew up with some tough kids.
Nah.
And they were beating each other up. But when I went back to the neighborhood, Them motherfuckers were shooting. Paulie Galino was
Yeah.
dead at 23. He had already
Yeah.
killed people, was extorting people. That shit was
Yeah.
fucking haywire. But anyway, I lost my point that we were going with that. I got
Yeah.
caught up in that story.
Yeah, me
Sorry
too.
about
But
that.
Yeah, go ahead, Paulie.
when we grew up, but in those days when we were growing up, a 22-year-old kid or a 21-year-old kid was like a 32-year-old kid.
He's like a man.
The shit that,
Yeah.
really, yeah, like you know what I mean? Like a lot of guys were in the joint, you know what I mean? Did like a year or two, whatever, like at 14, 18, you know what I mean? So like right there, that adds, and they were in the life. That adds years onto you. Meanwhile, he's not even 25 yet. You know what I mean? A lot of kids got killed even early in that age, like him, 21, 22. They had no problem. If you fucked up with the code, they had no problem whacking you. Whether you were
They were
18,
shooting
fucking,
people in broad fucking daylight.
yeah.
Broad daylight, shooting people. It was fucking crazy. When I first got back to Brooklyn, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? But I tell you what, after a few months, I had to settle in. I'm not saying I turned into some fucking maniac, but I had to fucking look around. I had to be aware. And again, Long Island, the kids I lived with in Long Island, they weren't soft. There was a lot of fighting, but this like turned me into a fucking different person.
All right, let me ask you this, Ant. Let me ask you this.
Seeing the differences.
You're doing the fucking the Great Migration. You went Brooklyn, Staten Island, Jersey. What are the little differences between these three little areas?
Between Jersey and Brooklyn?
Brooklyn, Staten Island, Jersey.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Staten Island was different until Brooklyn came to Staten Island. Now, when I came to Jersey, now I'm in like the Old Bridge area. I might as well be in Staten Island again.
Everyone's
the
moving
overflow.
west.
I'm sorry?
Everyone's like making that
The
migration.
overflow of everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody leapfrog from Brooklyn to Staten to Old Bridge.
And now they're
You
going
know
to
what I mean?
Jersey.
Time.
Crispy Pizza's over there now, right?
From the
Now they're going to be in
neighborhood.
Allentown.
Crispy Pizza's up there.
Dude, crispy pizza, Pepinos,
Yeah.
Paninos, fucking. it's
Pepinos.
all over there.
I'm telling you, bro, it's all moving. We were gonna move. We were gonna buy a house there. They got out of our hands. We couldn't afford it by the time.
You're
And
better
I'm
off.
looking back now. Yeah, I'm looking back now. Thank God, you know what I mean? It didn't work out, but at the time, we were looking to do that same migration.
I see.
You know, it's too
Sometimes
much.
I go the other way because you haven't seen them in so long, or some of them have been in jail for 15 years. What am I going to say? How you doing, brother? How's things? I'm good. How are you? I'm good. How are you? Well, all right. Well,
Yeah.
Right, I'm acclimating to society.
I go the other way because some of them been in jail for so long. What the fuck are they going to talk to me about? We're going to run a fucking scam? Bro, I don't got balls on the wall like that. I don't. Not that I was doing crazy shit, but I did a lot of dumb.
Right, but you think more now than you would then.
Like, what am I going to do with these people? And
They're on the line.
Mike, I totally lost your fucking question. Is that what you meant though?
I meant like
What was the question again?
because you said you were comparing from Long Island to Brooklyn, but you kept going Long Island, Brooklyn, Staten Island, Jersey. So I was just thinking the differences between all those little areas. But if everyone is moving that way anyway, it's probably the same.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of getting at. It's the same people wise, but the age different. Obviously, the ages are different, so it's not really wild. Like Staten Island was a little leveled down because it's a little more open. I guess it's because with the ages that I was in Brooklyn and everybody else, it was fucking wild. And then Staten Island was quiet for a while, and then that started getting. Like Jersey's quiet where I'm at. It's quiet. But I do see a lot of people from the neighborhood, a lot of people from Staten Island. But you know what?
Yeah.
I'm older, so I don't, I'm not out and about, Like,
That's the other thing, You're not on the social scene no more. You know what I mean? None of us are really, It's different. I guess, this is, everybody used to move to Long Island, Jersey, right? All these to get away or to just change it up. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then you need to change the scenery, bro.
Like
could chalk it up to that, but
yeah, I mean, I didn't want Santino to grow up in Staten Island.
that's the other thing. You know, you got kids.
Staten
You got,
Island
you know,
went from Staten Island to Pill Island to Heroin Island.
yeah, yeah.
Well, we got him out of there.
Oh, you know what? What's funny? You brought it back to with the crazy gangsters in the old days. Everybody forgets to talk about the main component that a lot of these people were on fucking drugs, bro. You know what I'm saying? Cocaine, crack, make you do some crazy fucking, make you do crazy shit. Everybody's like, oh, this dude, he was crazy. He was that. Yeah, you don't also know that he was up for 3 fucking days.
Yeah.
And he's not fucking thinking right. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You know what I mean?
100% right. Because growing up over
They
there,
leave that out. Yo, there was coke all over the fucking
Crack
place. So
everywhere.
you crazy crack coke, everybody fucking. It was
everybody.
It was. You couldn't fucking go anywhere. But that's the other thing. It was like the unspoken fucking. You know what I mean? Like the open secret or whatever. There was more coke in a bar on 3rd Avenue on a fucking Friday night, Saturday night, coke, crack, whatever the fuck you wanted. You know what I mean? Fights, brawls. Now you got gangsters that are selling this shit, and they got carte blanche to all this product. You don't think, and they're fucking maniacs to begin with, number one.
Yeah.
You start fucking shoveling cheats all fucking day. You're not thinking you're going to make the right fucking decision. Should I fucking let this guy slide? No, I'm enraged. I'm going to shoot him. I'm going to kill him. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because you're all fucking jacked up. You know?
Where's the
now,
cocaine
granted, that's
part
a
of
homicidal
Brooklyn
maniac.
Pop?
And the other flip side to that,
Did you guys have the cocaine section in Brooklyn Pop?
the cocaine. No, no, you know, if I had to say, it would probably be in the Coney Island area. Even though, no, you know what? The coke and pills would be the Saturday Night Fever fucking set, right? Because they were doing fucking pills and coke, but they never showed them sniffing coke in there. But you mean to tell me you're in the fucking Disco Odyssey, 2001 Odyssey in '77, and you ain't sniffing coke? Get the fuck. Yeah, posted. Exactly. But you know, that's the thing. You're gonna stop breaking out the Scarface in the Brooklyn Park. It's kind of family friendly.
How was your last
But
show?
yeah, everybody leaves out that component. Oh, it was great, man. It's always great. You know, the next one will be down in May 31st. You guys got to come out, bro. It's fucking. You got to see it, man.
Because when you said how was your last, you got cut off.
I asked them how the last Brooklyn
The show
Pop
I
show
do with
was.
the Brooklyn Pop.
Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah,
Brooklyn Dream.
You guys got to come for that, man. Yeah,
Tell
the
us
Brooklyn
about
Dream at the Brooklyn Pop. I still have a hard time.
Yeah,
It's
a
fucking
bit
great,
confusing.
though. It's a fucking immersive. It's a bit confusing, but it's really not. It's Cage's story with the Lords of Brooklyn and him being a graffiti writer, and it also melds into all the people from Brooklyn and the cultural relevance of Brooklyn and the Brooklyn pop icons like the Jackie Gleasons, Barbra Streisand, Tony Manero, fucking Saturday Night Fever, the Warriors, you know what I mean? Mike Tyson's Pigeon Coop, the Brooklyn Dodgers, like Bugs Bunny. And he tells the story of his grandparents, his parents, him, and how he came to Bay Ridge and started writing graffiti and then getting into the music business and everything. And then, you know what I'm saying? Inside of all those sets, he tells a story. And each one of those sets equates to his personal story and a cultural icon of Brooklyn, like Barbra Streisand. I play Ralph Crandon because his great grandfather was a bus driver on the Jackie Gleason route, and then they retired him. You know what I'm saying? So he died when he was like 2 or 3 Ks. So you never really knew him. So we always envisioned him to be like Jackie Gleason because he had that kind of personality. Everybody in Brooklyn had the Jackie Gleason personality back then. My uncles, my parents talk like that. That's why for me doing Jackie Gleason.
I miss
Me too, but that's why I love doing the Jackie Gleason. I feel like I'm channeling my parents. And of course, who didn't watch our generation? Honeymooners, bro.
Yeah.
11 o'clock, 11:30, Channel 11. Yeah. Come on. Summer nights, bro, winter nights, and then they made it to the marathon on New Year's. Even though that's been rocking for a while, but when we grew up, it was always, bro, weeknights, bro.
Yeah.
And then the only time I was able to stay up during the summertime, and then I would catch all that. Star Trek, I wasn't really into. Like, as soon as it's over, once I heard the theme's music at the ending, I was like, all right, here comes the fucking moon.
The Jackie Gleason show.
Exactly. The Honeymooners. That was it. And they would always do the back-to-back. So you got that from 11 to 11:30, and then the Twilight Zone from midnight to 1. They would have 2 episodes of the Twilight Zone after the fucking Honeymooners. But yeah, I love playing that part of Jackie Gleason, bro. It's awesome. And to be, because I'm a part of Lords of Brooklyn, so I'm in the story already of what Cage is telling, because that's part of his life, the group, right? And they got Joe D'Onofrio, Al Linea, bro, you know what I'm saying? They're in the social club with his father, because his father was half connect, all that. I don't want to say that, but, he knew a lot of the seedy characters we were just talking about. And he's got this, and his father's from Flatbush. So they had this fucking social club in there. And bro, it goes in so many realms of Brooklyn culture. I don't even like.
Are you friends? You friends with him?
Joe D'Onofrio? Yeah. I actually met him through the play. After knowing him for so many years of knowing him, he used to write graffiti. He used to write Zane. And that's how I knew him from breakdancing when I used to break with Cage.
D'Onofrio?
Joey D'Onofrio, yeah. And he used to write graffiti and break with Brat. The kid that used to write Brat and Zane. They were the breakdance twins. I'm going back 40 fucking years. But I didn't know. And then I worked with him on the Bronx Tale. I never went over him. Said I told him when I met him for the show. We became friends with him. He's all right. But I knew him as the Joe D'Onofrio. I'm like, and the first thing he said to me, he goes, "Was I a dick to you?" Then I said, I was like, "Nah, I just knew not to come over to you to say anything."
Oh, okay. You know what? I got a story.
Yeah, because this must happen a lot. This is what he told me. He's like, "Was I a dick to you?" I was like, "Nah, I never came over to you." So I heard stories.
I'm gonna get up for 1 second. Tell your story. I'm gonna be right back.
What's that, bro?
I'm gonna get up for 1 second. Just tell your story. I'll be right back.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna tell a story because you know what? When you said, "Was I a dick to you?" Right?
Yeah. That's what he said to me because I was like, "Nah, you weren't." I was like, "I never came over to you and formally was introduced to you or anything." But he told me, he was like,
if he by some chance he sees this, bro, whatever. It is what it is. He was a dick to me in the Palladium one time. Right?
Oh, so you're talking Palladium. You got to remember, if you're talking Palladium, you're going back at least 30 years.
Yeah. So I'm in the Palladium, and I'm at the bar, and I'm getting a drink. And this fucking dude comes over, pushes his way in. So I look over, and he actually had a jacket, and on the back it said a Bronx Tale. So now this was a time where I was kind of running a little wild with some wild people. No disrespect. This was when we were kids or whatever.
30 years.
I was this close.
He was a different person then.
This close to opening him up.
Yeah.
This fucking close. And my friend, who's a fighter, was like, just let it go. And I was like, right, whatever. But he was a dick at that time, though. I'll tell you that much. And he came
off the Bronx Tale.
And I was with a bunch of bar wreckers, so it would have been ugly in all directions, man.
And in the Palladium, too, bro. Palladium was there was always brawls popping off in the Palladium constantly. From what I remember always being there was always a beef somewhere. I never really got into beefs. But here's another thing I want to touch on now, because I'm fucking scatterbrained. I even forgot why we brought up Joe D'Onofrio. Peace, Joe. I'll see you at the 31st.
Sorry, buddy.
But listen, it's all good. It's all good. Listen, I know it. I'll make sure I'll talk to him. Don't worry. But going back to what we were saying earlier in this fucking tirade about people in this generation getting offended about all kinds of certain things and all these marginalized groups that want to give each other all kinds of fucking names. When we would go to the Palladium or go to Sound Factor, we're in the fucking place with everybody. Drag queens, trannies, gay guys, this one, that one, straight, this, that, freaks, maniacs, dress fucking club kids, every fucking thing. There were beef fights, whatever, but it was isolated individuals. But for the most part, we all got along, we were all on drugs, dancing to whatever, in the scene, the fucking nightlife. And the main thing was make sure whoever you're hooking up with isn't a dude. That was it. You know what I'm saying? There's lights, there's drugs, there's people, there's fucking all kinds. But for the most part, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, all of a sudden, like, this gang going there, like, this group of marginalized people fighting with this group of marginalized people. But, nah, everybody was all under one
You know why?
groove, as
It was
George
like, this
Clinton
is
used
what
to
it looked
say.
like. This is what it looked like right before you go in there. You ready?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All of a sudden, you got a pimp lip going. Everything's beautiful. Everybody's
That's it. The light show starts going on. Everything is beautiful. Half of the time, it was really people that were freaked out because they were on drugs and freaked out that started beefs. For the most part, if I just took acid, I just popped E, I'm fucking drunk, I'm fucking pre-gaming for 8 hours, and I get to the club, you don't think I want to stop fighting?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out. I want to enjoy my high, I want to listen to the music, I want to try to dance with some chicks that are really chicks, you know what I'm saying? And like,
That's
and
the
enjoy
important part.
being a 19-year-old in the limelight. You know what I'm saying? The most important part, right? But listen, as everybody likes to say, I notice, once they do the half-handed, they go, well, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You ever notice that when somebody says, oh, not that there's anything wrong with that. And then they proceed to tell you what exactly is wrong with that. It's like they want, no disrespect, but, and then they say the most disrespectful shit ever, right?
The line
You know,
is a
no,
pizza
but
place now.
In that place, right? You remember how big those
What's that?
fucking bouncers were?
Oh, yeah.
In the Palladium? We
Oh,
went
yeah.
there. We went there one night. Me,
To fight them.
Whipster, and like 2-3 other dudes. And dude, I still think about this night. We fought the bouncers. It was fucking horrifying because they're all 6'5". Yo, we brawled it out, bro. I mean, brawled. Yo, we did good for some young, skinny fucking dudes. I mean, we wrecked one of them. But I remember going down the back stairway, bro. Fucking, they were swinging, walking, talk, bro. It was fucking bizarro world.
Those big fucking flashlights. Remember those flashlights? You get back with that, bro. You go to the hospital.
I woke
Got
up
like
the next
4
day,
D
I had
batteries in
fucking-
there.
Yeah, bro. I had golf balls all over my fucking face. Whipster was all banged up, like. And then we found somebody in there. We had to go back. Bro, it was fucking.
No man left behind.
One of my friends was pulling the gate. Yo, he was a fucked up dude. He was like, he was telling the guy, the moolie's gonna die.
Yeah.
I can't.
That was,
that was listen.
In the heat of battle, bro. You know what I mean? That's the words are flying, bro. You know.
Big shout out to Whip
That's
while we're on the
crazy
subject.
because that's what.
Yeah, man. I got to shout out to my boy Whipster.
Shout out to the Whipper.
Yo,
Yo, bro,
street fights than
real back
anyone
then.
I've ever met in my life. He's had more street fights than anyone I've ever met. Maybe 3 people.
Can you there was a
Easy.
story. There was a story one time you told me where Whip I don't know if I can. I'm gonna try to give you a hint so I don't give away the story. But was there a story where he used a line from a movie one time?
Where he did what?
He used a line from a movie.
Yes.
Before tell us about that.
So I think we were in the Atomic Club.
The Atomic Club.
So we're in the Atomic Club, or one of those fucking. It might have been La Balloons. That whole fucking thing was a blur. But anyway.
Rockin' Jocks.
Oh no! Oh, it wasn't Rocket Jock. I forget. It was the old Atomic
Gazebo.
Club. But we're in there, right?
Wavelengths.
We walk in, and I don't know. I heard some shit going on, not too much, and we get there, and I turn around, and Whip is going the other way. I'm like, bro. I'm like, where you going right now? He looks at me and he smiles. He goes, I'm gonna go peck a fight. And he did, bro.
And he did. He was promises made, promises kept.
Bro, you know what?
Yeah.
Speaking of Whipster, not too long ago, he had a fight in the neighborhood because he still lives in the neighborhood, and a guy on a bike tried to hit him with a fucking chain with a lock on the end of it.
Yeah, that'll kill you.
He swung it at Whipster. Like I said, Whipster still, he's fucking Whip. Whip gave him a beating. And the kids were in the truck. His kids were in the truck, and it's funny because Rip's telling me the story, and he hears his kids telling his wife like play for play. All right, the guy swung at Daddy. All right, Daddy dodged him. All right, Daddy's beating him up now. Yo, another shout out
Street
to Whip,
justice.
man. Most stand-up fucking guy ever. I fucking love him.
We gotta
That's
love the
fucking
stand-up guys, bro. Especially in this day and age, man. We're fucking the last of a dying breed.
They're going away. This kind of,
This
what
shit's
else is
all on
going away?
purpose.
The things
Yeah,
that
they're going
there's
away,
things
Mike,
that
you're
are
right.
going away also is like the New York accent is going away. Regional accents are going away. New York, Boston,
Yeah.
wherever. Pick a place, but because everything's like globally, everyone's talking the same. It's fucking kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Everything's homogenized.
Yeah, everything's fucking
Yeah,
homogenous.
bro. Yo, think about it. Think about it. It's been over
Yeah,
25 years. There's been people gentrifying Brooklyn,
Yeah.
Bronx, Queens. Well, maybe not the Bronx, but Queens.
Yep.
Fucking,
It's the
you know,
Bronx.
most of the main parts, Queens. Yeah, all over.
You know
But
what? Listen, I tell you what. People used to make fun. Like they used to make fun of like metalheads, or even like in the neighborhood in Brooklyn. Oh, you guys with your sweatsuits and your hair and your chains. You know what? Fuck you. At least we had a fucking identity. That was us. Not like now,
Absolutely.
where everybody thinks that they're from the hood or they're ghetto with their. At least we had a fucking identity. Even the metalheads in Long Island. Oh, with the hair and the patches. Fuck you. At least they got an identity. They're who they
Yeah.
are. They have their hair and they don't give a fuck. To me, that goes back to what we were saying before about hardcore. Hardcore is, this is me. You're you. And here we
Right.
are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Nowadays,
and we like the same things.
it's a fucking clone war out there. Who's got
Yeah.
this or who's got that? Like, you know what? You like I said, you make fun of the suits, the patches, the hair. Fuck you. We have an identity. This is us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we have
Yeah.
to talk. We have to talk about it, and we have to keep these stories alive, and we have to keep being because we don't conform to that. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck about cancel my balls. I don't give a shit. You don't like me, I don't like you, whatever. I don't care about you enough to not like you. How about that?
Right,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't care about you at all.
See,
I don't
that's
even
why I
think
like
you.
coming here. That's why I come in here with you, like with you, Mike, and you know, you guys, because if you ask me a question, you're not gonna stop me from answering it in a real fucking way, and that's what it is, man. This is what we're talking.
Yeah.
Real shit. If you don't want real, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? You don't want to
Yeah.
hear
Yeah.
about how the neighborhoods were segregated, or you don't want to hear about this. Bro, this ain't the fucking place for you. I can only tell you what I've seen and what I know. And if you don't like it and you think it's fucked up, yo, sorry.
Well, we had accountability. The victimhood mentality was exactly that, right?
Yeah.
What do we call? Yo, I caught a vic. What did that used to mean? I caught a victim. That means I victimized somebody. You never wanted to be a victim, ever. Growing up in
about
Brooklyn,
now? People want to be
now they're
victims,
all
right, Mike?
victims.
We was
Yeah.
They're a victim. It's
They wear
victimhood.
they wear it like
It's
a
their
badge.
identity.
right.
Yeah, it's an identity. Where we come from, the last thing you want to be is a victim.
No,
You know what I'm
that's
saying? That's a hurt.
horrifying. Why do you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. That means you're a mark, other regional area, everybody in Cali, whatever they call them, a mark or whatever, you mark ass buster, whatever. You know
Mark.
what I'm saying? Yeah. You're
Get
a
the
Vic.
core.
We used to say, remember, oh, they saw you. Remember this one we used to say, oh, they must have saw you coming a mile away.
Yeah.
You know what that meant, right?
Yeah.
I see the Vic, oh, this guy's here, we
It's a
got one.
generational thing too, bro. Because Long Island was like
100%.
that too. Long Island was the same
Yeah.
thing. If you walked around all fucking soft, I know. Listen, like people say Long Island. Again, I'm gonna say it. It was a little fucked up there too, and it's the same type of mentality. It has to be the generations. Because even people who were fucking handicapped did their best not to have that weakness. Now they fucking oh my knee, I can't my knee. Yo, I would never fucking tell you my fucking knee hurts. Fuck that, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Yo, you want to laugh? I read there are a certain group of people out there, these are sickos, they're pulling self-amputeeing
Yeah.
just so they can claim some sort of disability, some
Yeah.
sort of ableness is what they're doing. They're fine. It's like Munchausen by proxy in a fucking weird one. And listen, like that thing I sent you, Mike, the rules for radicals, Saul Alinsky, that shit. That's all going on right now. If you read that book and you look at all those tenets in that book, it's playing out. But they're doing it to each different marginalized fucking, they call it, it's all semantics. It's all fucking getting just groups to hold on to something and then fucking, you know what I mean? Get them out of the way so they can come in and tell them, look, it's that guy over there. And then they all fucking turn, who?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And then they attack that fucking thing because they already had that seed planted in their fucking mind of being injustice and a victim and you gotta fight back. Meanwhile, they're just fucking being conned along with doing the bidding for others. And that's really what we're seeing going on. And it's a generational thing. The past 25, 30 years, they've been dumbing these motherfuckers down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
man.
if you don't have good parents, you're going to fall victim to that shit as a kid growing up. I couldn't imagine what it's like growing up. You know, how we grew up as opposed to kids growing up today.
Yeah.
We used to hear, you kids don't know when we were growing. You know what I mean? We used to hear that shit. You know what I mean? But I grew up, it was fucking awesome. All these stories we're talking about made us who we are. It gave us the character to survive.
You know,
Not coward.
our mother wasn't going to make us victims, though. Mommy wasn't going to make us victims. And I'll tell you a quick one. We were in 204 schoolyard, and Mommy was playing paddleball. She played paddleball. And there was young kids on the other side playing ball or whatever. And at that time, I was such a young, shy fucking kid. Their ball came over and went past me. And I was like, I don't want to touch it, right? So I'll never forget. The fucking kid came over and he goes to me, bro, as a young fucking, bro, 8 or 9 years old. And he comes out to me and goes, just like this, you don't get the ball with that fucking voice and everything. And I didn't know what to do. He fucking slapped me in the face. And he went and got the ball. And I remember the partner Mommy had chased him. Get the fuck out, he told him. And I was like, I started tearing a little bit. Mommy came up to me. She goes, what's wrong with you? Hit him back. And you know what?
Yeah.
That was a turning point for me at that age. And I said to myself, if I'm going to get slapped again, I'm going to take a beating after that because I'm not. But mommy fucking yelled at me. You better hit back. You're not going to. I don't remember the rest of it, but I'll never forget how fucking mad she was at me. And that turned something in me. Not that I was mad at her. I'm like, holy shit. At that age, I was
She's
like,
right.
She's fucking right. But
Yeah.
everyone has that time where you break out. Like, I didn't break out yet then, but that was my stepping stone.
Right. I was putting you in the right direction.
Because Mommy was mad. Mommy was like, don't ever let nobody do that to you again. And my mom's not from Brooklyn. My mother's not from Brooklyn. She's not Italian. She's Mexican from Texas. But my
But still,
mom
the principle's the same. The principle is
She's
the
not a
same.
victim.
Don't let nobody fucking step on your shoes.
Well, let me
Mommy's
tell
like
you-
a hero almost, Mike.
Let me tell you what she said to me once. Going to
Go ahead,
I don't know if it's a pretty simple thing. Everyone's heard it in one way or another. It was like, don't go start shit with nobody, but don't take no shit either. And that was like the fucking one of those things. Everyone's got their own version of it, but that's how she taught me. Pretty simple shit, but it's
don't
it's
start
life.
none, won't be none.
Exactly. Don't take no shit, but don't start no shit neither.
That's it.
Right. Because that's how, that it's important to have those schoolyard rules, bro. You know what I mean? Growing up. Because you have to, they're trying to demasculate these kids. They're doing a pretty damn fucking good job with it.
They're succeeding. They're not doing a good job.
Yeah. Dare I say, they fucking have won, really, if you think about it. I don't see it so much with a lot of the kids up here. It's a different fucking breed up here in a way. You know what I mean? In a good way and a bad way. But, it's going on, man. They're getting kids all across the board, or they're trying to. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you do it, They couldn't tell us. They couldn't do that to us when we were growing up because we all fucking were pretty much free thing. That same exact, don't let nobody fucking slap you without fucking slapping them back.
Yeah. And
Whereas they condition these kids to take the bullying, right? We all know. How do you stop a bully? You punch him in his fucking face. You fight back. Then the guy's not going to go. He's going to take the the path of least resistance. He's gonna pick on somebody else until that fucking kid does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or or somebody comes back and gets him 5 years later and fucking shoots him in the head or whatever. That's the consequences of it. You know what I mean?
We're dinosaurs. Mike, didn't you have to punch somebody in the face not too long ago?
I didn't have to.
We don't want to incriminate
No,
nobody.
but didn't you have to? Didn't you
I didn't have to,
somebody though?
but I did.
That goes back. Well, didn't you have a fight like Jay got cracked or something? You had to punch somebody or something like that.
Yeah, we got into like a 6-person brawl outside of a place, but it wasn't like I had to do this or that. It was just people were just brawling, and we were involved.
But you know what? See that's our age and where we're from. That really doesn't happen now. Like
Yeah.
if the three of us are out one night, and Mike or P, you get into some shit, I'm not gonna be, guys, stop. It's fucking
Right.
on. You know,
Oh,
you
yeah.
do.
Right.
We're from a generation where we do what we
Squat
need
up.
to do. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
But yeah, I don't know.
Take
I
your
keep talking
shot.
about that. I remember Jay. You told me Jay got hit. I felt bad because I love Jay, man.
Oh yeah, he's big shout out Jay, but it was just like
Where
it was
were you
such-
at?
we were on the fucking outside of a
Chaos?
restaurant, and there was fucking we were the guys were fighting the guys, but the guys we were fighting had girls with them, and as we're fighting the guys, they were throwing chairs at us and shit because they had outdoor dining. So I'm dodging chairs trying to fucking fight this fucking guy. It was fucking chaos. But you know what though? It was after
A good old dust up.
when it was all said and done, I was like, you know what? That I was 40 something at that, 45, 46. I was like, you know what? And I broke my hand at the time too. I was like, it's worth it. But me and my friends rolling around on the ground with these guys on the Thanksgiving Eve night, it was worth it. It was fun. It's fun. When all said and done,
Gotta make sure you still got it. You know what I'm saying?
it was a good time. But before I let you go, I wanted to because my battery's almost dead. And again, I say this every episode. I could talk to you guys
it's going in and out.
for hours and hours.
Yeah, bro, we gotta do this. We gotta make this a regular thing.
Paul, you wanted to talk about your tell us
Check it
again.
every month.
Tell us again about Brooklyn Dream and Brooklyn Pop.
Oh man, I lost.
That's coming up on May 31st. Check out my Instagram at Paulie Nugent. Instagram. Got all the shit on there. Or go to the Brooklyn Pop on Instagram. Or go check out Mr. Caves on Instagram. Plenty of fucking time to get your tickets. May 31st. Oh, and come down to Paisan Con on May 9th and 10th. You guys gotta come down. It's gonna be hilarious, bro.
That's great.
Well, it's gonna be a fucking Sopranos reunion. Bro, the guys over there, it's gonna be fucking crazy. All the boys, Furio, Johnny Sack, fucking. We're gonna have a table there for the Brooklyn Pop, me and Caves. There's gonna be fucking Vinny Pazienza, the boxer. Vito Antifomo, the boxer. There's gonna be all kinds of paisans that you haven't seen in fucking years out there. But that's on May 9th, 10th, and 11th at the Rutherford Arts Center, I believe. But we'll get into that in another week or so. Check that out. It's gonna be mad. You guys should come out, bro. It's fucking hilarious. It's gonna be. I'm really looking forward to this, bro. It should be hysterical.
And you didn't say
A room full of fucking the greatest show on earth.
You didn't say the venue for the Brooklyn Dream.
Oh, the Brooklyn Dream's at the Brooklyn Pop, 254 36th Street, Industry City, Sunset Park, Kiwanis they call it now. I don't know. I know that was Sunset back in the day.
Sunset
With all those
Park.
fucking, that was.
Sunset
It was right by Sweet Cherry. Remember Sweet Cherry was over there?
I
Going
put
back.
down there too one night. Whatever.
Who didn't?
Hey, what do you got?
That's
What
for
do
the
you got?
next one when we get together.
What do you
We
got?
gotta break out the fucking the stories from down there.
Hey,
But
what do you
yeah,
got?
man, like I said, we gotta fucking check in.
Yes,
Let's fucking make this a regular thing.
And you got
Tales from the
something?
hood. Tales from the brook.
And you can hear me?
Yeah, what's going on with you, Ant? What do you got to plug?
Anthony, you can hear
Oh
me?
man, Mike, I keep losing you for some reason. Yeah, I gotta hold on one second. All right, hold on one sec. Where's? Come here.
Industry City, Paulie. You ever go to there's a place over there called the Burger Joint. It used to be in the city.
I haven't checked it out. I know what you're talking about, though.
It used to be in the
They
Park
got
of
good
Meridian
food down there,
Hotel.
too.
It used to be in the Park of Meridian. Best
You wanna
burger
plug?
ever.
Oh, forget it.
I'm
Do you
interested.
want to do it for her?
We gotta check that place out.
Paulie, can you tell Anthony what I'm saying? Can you plug for her?
Hey,
He can't hear me.
you hear me? You want a what for?
Do the plug for her.
Guys, can you hear you? You want to do the plug for her, Ant?
No, I can't remember anything.
You can't remember anything right now.
All right.
We'll do the plug on the next one.
There you go.
right.
I'll have it ready next time.
All right. Thanks,
Have
guys.
it prepared. Written on loose leaf. Here's my boys.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Appreciate it.
Do it again.
All right. Later.
Yo,
Appreciate it. It was a pleasure, bro. Love you guys.
love you guys.
I love you.
Later. Thanks.
Later.